So I'll ask you this right out of the gate here, okay? Are you concerned right now about some positions on this football team? So I'm going to bring Marc Farzetta on with us right now, who starts our broadcast off here on JAKIB each and every single day. Farzy, how you doing, brother?
Fantastic. How you doing, my man?
Okay, so is this fair to say? Farzy, Eagles need a safety.
Fair and accurate. Yes, they absolutely need a safety.
So again, let's piggyback that and say this. Do you think Howie relied too much on the roster this offseason with some of the more, not saying they're not good, inexperienced guys where he didn't know what he had? Because let's be candid here on Keeley. He couldn't beat Isaiah Rodgers out a year ago. When when Vic went and wanted to get a corner, he went to Isaiah. Last year, Christian McCollum played a ton of football. Tristan was in that role more so, and I get it that Sidney was injured, okay? Makuba also was a new player. They just drafted him. So give me your takeaways on how you're seeing so far the first couple of days of camp.
Well, first couple of days of camp, Quentin Mitchell's an absolute stud. Cooper DeJean is the Swiss Army knife, will be the Swiss Army knife that Vic Fangio wants him to be, and quite frankly, all Philadelphia expects that he can be. The one gadget I would like to leave in the knife as opposed to pulling that one out for Cooper DeJean is the safety position. Go ahead and play outside corner. I think he can play outside corner. We know he can play nickel. In a pinch, you need him to be safety, fine. But to get to your first point with Howie Roseman and whether or not he overestimated what he's got now or underestimated what he's got now, he's got a situation out at the safety position that I just don't think he's done yet. I think Justin Simmons is just out there waiting to be signed. I think he's looking around saying, all right, is there going to be anybody that's hurt, anybody that's banged up? If not, I know I can slide perfectly into whatever Vic Fangio needs me to do. So I'm just going to sit here and wait patiently for the time being. I still think Justin Simmons is getting signed. I still think Justin Simmons is coming here to Philadelphia. Until that happens, yeah, Drew Makuba got some early praise, but when he can't stay on the field in training camp, that's never a good sign. Sidney Brown has a lot of harnessing to do of his ability. He could be the heat-seeking missile and all of that we've seen him be in the very brief flashes or flashes of flashes that we have seen from him in his very young career. And Tristan McCullum, they have a lot of work to do still. Now, here's what I think they're relying on. They're relying on whoever they get or whoever they decide they can deem the starter going into the season, whether it be outside corner, whether it be safety, that Jalen Carter is going to make sure that everybody, not just on the defensive line, but everybody on this defense is going to be having their, little easier than most other people will have it in the secondary, with Jalen Carter hopefully dominating that defensive line as people expect him to do, taking a step forward in this upcoming season.
That leads me to this then. Okay, well, why'd you get rid of Gardner Johnson then? I mean, you had a guy who is, by the way, Reed's not better than him.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about extending that guy. He's not better than him. Look, and I'll say it. I mean, Farzy, he's an asshole. I get it. But again, you're not going to win. You're not going to win Super Bowls with choir boys. Yeah. And so, I mean, you lose out on that guy, and you end up, maybe the Slay move ends up being bigger than what people thought. I mean, those two moves right there, you're talking about, I mean, do you really believe that Keely Ringo and that a second-round pick you just mentioned and a third-round pick, Sidney Brown, Makuba and Brown, that's a 2 and a 3. You really think those guys are going to cover for Gardner Johnson and Keely Ringo's going to cover for Slay? Man, that's a massive ask, isn't it?
The only way that I can move on from, well, two ways, I guess. One is more likely to happen than the other, but the only way I can really moving on from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because you're right on all counts, there's no better evidence or proof in the pudding than he's here, you go to a Super Bowl. He goes away, you collapse at the end of the year. Oh my God, he comes back, you win a Super Bowl. It's amazing. How hard is this to decipher, right? So it's obviously a big part of the personality. It's a big part of the cap as to why he's no longer here. The other thing is, the only way you can make me move on from it is Justin Simmons is signed, or Drew Makuba, we're all just missing something and he's just a flat-out stud. Or Sidney Brown is a flat-out stud. I don't see that happening. To me, I think you found out everything you needed to know to go to your point earlier about Vic Fangio. This guy ain't giving you coach speak, or in his case, coordinator speak, I guess. He's hitting you right between the eyes. And I think all you needed to know was back, what was it, mini camp, where he was asked about moving on from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He said, no, that was a cap move. I was fine with it. Like, he didn't say, yeah, it's a cap move. It's tough. Real talented player. Would love to keep him around, but it's just the, nature of the business. Can't forget it's business. He didn't give you anything like that. It was like, no. Next question. That's basically where he went with that. So, look, I understand from a fan's perspective, or even this, any logical thinking football mind, even a casual, can look at what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson brought to the table here for this Eagles defense with attitude in everything and say, yeah, they're going to miss that. They're going to miss it. Hey, look, Reed Blankenship sealing games with interceptions, diving into the screen out of nowhere. That's all great. But I do think that there's a reason before Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was let go. I think there was traded. There's a reason why Darius Slay did not include him in the leadership pack he was talking about before even Darius Slay moved on from the Philadelphia Eagles. So, look, right now, those two positions doesn't have it. When it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles defense compared to last year, both those spot, outside corner and safety, right now, as it's constructed, doesn't have it. And when they're a nickel, which, as we all know, will be most of the time, it is a concern. You feel like you're going to be locked down at nickel. You're going to be locked down with Quentin Mitchell, him traveling all over the place. And you'll feel pretty good about maybe Reed Blankenship coming over the top to make a pick. But other than that, you're going to be worried about the other safety spot, and you're going to be worried about who's the other outside corner.
Farzy, I've been asking this question to everybody, and I haven't gotten a decent answer yet. I asked Eskin this, I asked Angelo this, Angelo kind of in a way, but I mean, I've asked just about everybody this question. So I'm going to ask you here on Kevin Patullo. Okay, so I'm supposed to believe right now. By the way, the offense seemingly has been, I won't say struggling. I'll use the word wobbling, in camp. Now, who knows? They could be practicing other things. It's a reach to say that, they're wobbling. But let me ask you something here. So I'm supposed to believe here that when Brian Johnson was elevated to offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo was passed over. He was in the building, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that 23 season was a meltdown at the end, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Instead of going back indoors to the place, they went out of the organization to get Kellen Moore. They didn't go to Kevin Patullo.
That's passed over twice.
Why am I to believe now, guy who's never been a play caller? And by the way, problem that I have with this, there's quite a few Italians on this coaching staff. So I'm finding myself having Italian hate on, and I'm beginning to feel uncomfortable. Sirianni, Patullo, Fangio. There's a ton of paisans on this thing here. So I'm becoming, but why am I to believe now that Kevin Patullo is ready for this gig now and it's his time? Why am I to believe that when he was passed over twice?
Yeah. Sills, I've asked this question a million times and no one's answered this question. I mean, I just, why Nick Sirianni? Like, it's a very simple question. And as a matter of fact, it allows Nick Sirianni, it puts a ball on a tee for Nick Sirianni to smack it 300 yards down the middle of the fairway to say nice things about, Kevin Patullo. And it's a very simple question. What is it about Kevin Patullo now that you couldn't pass over? What is the difference between what he has now and the last two seasons? Did he learn a boatload from Brian Johnson? Maybe not what not to do. Did he learn that much from Kellen Moore in 1 year? I know Nick Sirianni has talked at length about how he was jealous of their friendship and how close they were when they were here and really learned a lot. Okay, fine. So now is the time where you can't pass him over. I say this. When it comes to Kevin Patullo, he hasn't done anything to make me go, oh, this is the guy that they clearly had to have. But he's not going to do that. Really, if you're being real, you're not going to buy anything he's selling until you see the proof in the pudding during the regular season. But what I think is it's a similar situation, but better than Brian Johnson. They looked at Brian Johnson and they said, oh, look at all the weapons we have. Who could possibly mess this up? Nobody. We got Jalen Hurts. We got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Oh, my goodness, this offensive line. Nobody. Oh, it's going to be great. And then they messed it up. Big time, both offensively and defensively, if we're being real. But I think they look at Kevin Patullo and be like, all right, look, this is Nick Sirianni's guy. Nick Sirianni wanted him in here. He's in here. He's been here for 4 years. He's been here for the 4 years that Jalen Hurts has been the starter. Jalen Hurts, I think, is the key to this thing being successful. And that's not just in a typical quarterback running the offense type of thing. I think Jalen Hurts' input in this offense is going to be so much greater than what we have seen in the past. And I love that because last year, a lot of this Eagles offense success, yeah, sure, Kellen Moore was good, but Jalen Hurts' ability to read the defense in front of him and go, this is the perfect one for Saquon, or this is the perfect one for that rub route to Dallas Goedert. This is the perfect one for that slant to A.J. Brown. This is the perfect one for the deep ball down the middle to Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts is going to be more in command of this offense than ever before, and I think that's what makes it so much easier for any offensive coordinator. And then, oh, yeah, Saquon Barkley behind this offensive line, as I've mentioned many times before, for the era that I grew up in, it was always the big question when I was a kid from the adults. What if Barry Sanders had the Cowboys offensive line? What would that have looked like? This is what it would have looked like. Saquon Barkley behind this offensive line. That's what it would have looked like. So I think this is a much more, not that this is bolstering up Kevin Patullo like he's some genius. It's that, I mean, people say that Jalen Hurts is just in a great situation. Kevin Patullo is in a phenomenal situation where he, as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller, isn't going to have to do as much. The one thing he has said that made me go, okay, let's see what this guy's got, is when you hear him talk about, and the offensive players talk about, installing a more up-tempo offense and going no huddle a little bit more often than what we have seen in the past. Scoring in the first quarter, that was a problem the Eagles had last year. It's a problem they've had in the past. Going up-tempo might be able to solve that problem. I would say that's a nice little wrinkle to throw into the mix here with Kevin Patullo. But it's more so a praise of this offense than it is anything that I have seen him do, heard him suggest, or any report that's come out with him having a great command of the meeting room, because those are my favorite ones too. But no, to answer your question, I don't know what he's done. I'd love for somebody to ask that question. I haven't heard the answer to that question. Now, here's one thing that does concern me, to go on the other side of this here, because this is something that when I heard Cam Jurgens say this yesterday, I just kind of went, huh? So Vic Fangio shot this down today, saying that the defense does not have everything installed, and that's fine. But Cam Jurgens saying that the defense is so much farther ahead. Now, we're used to, at this point, Sills, you know this, obviously. Defenses are usually ahead of the offense. Yeah. Training camp, preseason, even in the regular season, they're a little bit ahead. But I thought there was a lot more moving pieces on the defensive side of things. That's a
great pull by you. I didn't get, way to go. You sniffed that out.
I don't think I got to be Columbo over here. You know what I'm saying? To go, wait a minute. All the question marks we've had, like even the question mark on offense that we throw is like right guard, and we're like, that'll be fine. And then you look at the defense, you're like, oh man, okay, we can look at the safety. Oh, damn it, outside corner. Yeah, how often do you use Cooper DeJean? What's going to happen with Milton Williams not being here anymore? Johnson gone. What's going on? Like all these questions. Oh, Brandon Graham's retired. Like all these things that were thrown out there are all on the defensive side of the football. And you mean to tell me that your starting center, your Pro Bowl center, is going, wow, they're so much further ahead than we are.
Whoa, with 5 new starters over there.
With 5 new starters. What are you doing, Cam Jurgens? But in all honesty, I look, if you're an offense, if you want to be an offensive coordinator in the NFL, this is where you want to be. That's really what it comes down to. This is where you want to be. So this position could be a kingmaker for some others. It certainly was for Shane Steichen, and now the offense is obviously better than that. It was for Kellen Moore. He finally got that head coaching job so many people had talked about for 6 years. He was a coordinator. Now he's got it. And now you look at Kevin Patullo, a guy that was an associate head coach, got passed over twice for the promotion, and now all of a sudden he's the guy that's supposed to be running the play calling and all that. So, look, I'm not going to buy into anything until I really see it on the football field, but the questions are absolutely there.
I'm going to use a line from a movie. Analyze this. Yo, okay? Yo.
Yes.
Yo. You know, that was a great pull on Jurgens. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to trademark it with Farzetta here. That's a great pull by you. Now, that's you tell education. Me, could we go here? One of the things that I saw, maybe what you just said, Brian Johnson looked at all the skill set and went, okay, well, I'm going to try to utilize it to the best of my ability. Okay. Kellen Moore went like this. With all the great talent, we're not using all the great talent on the team. We got to go to this skill set by running the ball. Maybe Patulo is the guy more like Kellen that's going to run the football more instead of trying to really spread the ball around to all the playmakers on the team. Because let's think about it here. You're right. Brian tried to do everything he could to get the football in every guy's hand. And let's not forget in the offseason, every single guy on that team got a contract raise off of a guy who sucked, right? Supposedly he's
yes.
pumped. Everybody got a raise. So my question to you would be, maybe he is more like Kellen. Maybe he's more like a guy who, again, is just going to look at the simplicity of it. Remember, he even said it at his presser. By the way, I liked him in front of the microphone. He sounded like a head football coach. I'm not.
Patullo?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
really good demeanor.
He did. He had really, I mean, it was not like planting flowers and seeds and crap like that. He was good. But, I mean, remember what he said, too? We want to streamline it. We want to make it simplistic for people here. So maybe he's more what they did a year ago, and that's why they hired him, because everybody I've asked that question to, they do not have an answer to. And like you said, no one has had the cannoli to sit there and ask that question to him. Hey, man, why did you get passed over twice? I mean, by now, right?
Right. And look, we all know there's a way you phrase the question to either Sirianni or to Kevin Patulo, like, what makes it different now? Why are you ready now? What have you noticed in your own abilities or knowledge, know-how, whatever, that makes you ready for this position? And to your point, I do believe when I hear the player, like a lot of times, and I know a lot of fans are quick to go to the, well, what's he gonna say at any press conference or anything like that? But there's a difference. Like, if you mean to tell me your, BS meter was not going off when you hear the over the top compliments, then I don't know what to tell you. But when you hear things that sound really legit, like, a guy just putting out something simple, he didn't just say, well, he runs a good meeting or whatever. Jordan Mailata talked about commanding the room and all that stuff. And he's a very vocal leader in those meetings. And Kevin Patulo even saying the only difference between doing this and what he's done in the past is, he's in more meetings now than he used to be. I didn't necessarily like that answer, but I do appreciate that it was honest. Like, there's a leadership quality that you got to have, especially if it's something that you've never done before. And this is something he's never done before. So to at least here in the early stages of this, guys are saying, look, he's doing a great job. He definitely has our attention. He looks, he seems like a guy's going to be a really great leader and move into this. He's always been vocal, but this is a different thing. And you heard that from A.J. Brown. Because look, we know if things don't go right, things will come out. Stories will come out.
You think he's on a short leash or a long leash?
I think you're on a short leash if you're running this Eagles offense. If you're the play caller with this offense and you're not having success, I mean, it's one of those rare things where you could look at the front office and go, what more could I have done for you? Other than bring back Hall of Famers and invent a time machine, what more could I have done for you to put you in a perfect position? So it's a very short leash. If you don't have success with this offense, you got problems, man. You got major problems.
Final question for you. JAKIB Campbell, he's got to start, not Trotter, week 1 against Dallas. I mean, ask yourself this, Farzy. Do you think Vic will have more versatility with Bond and with Campbell? Because N'Kobe's out. It didn't sound like last week when they were talking about him. Vic was very high on him being back anytime soon. So do you think Vic has more versatility with JAKIB Campbell and Bond, or with Bond and Trotter? I think more with JAKIB Campbell. I mean, he's got to start day 1. He's been the talk of the camp. Yeah,
this is a guy that wasn't supposed to be ready until the second week in August, and all of a sudden he's out here just balling. Look, we all love the story of Jeremiah Trotter Jr., hatchet man, if you will. We all love the story. It's great. I think he absolutely has a role in this football team, but albeit you're not moving up, albeit one spot, you're not moving up for JAKIB Campbell, who fell to you. And here's the other thing. Vic Fangio ain't fee-fi-fo-fumming into that draft room with a grin on his face to have Jahad Campbell down the depth chart from Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He's starting. Nakobe Dean, unfortunately, is not going to be ready. Jahad Campbell's going to be playing next to Zach Bond. You want to talk about versatility? Absolutely. You might see him bounce from, that outside linebacker role to more of the true edge rusher and then back to that. I mean, I think versatility is really the name of the game when it comes to this Vic Fangio defense. Whether you're talking about Quenyon Mitchell's versatility of any side of the field, need me to follow anybody, I'm following them. And then you also look at Cooper DeJean. What do you need me to do? Nickel, safety, outside, let's party. And then you look at the idea of Jahad Campbell potentially being on the edge or being a linebacker right next to Zach Bond in that Nakobe Dean role of last year or in that Oren Burks role of last year in the postseason. And you might even see a blitz from time to time from Vic Fangio with that versatility that's provided by Jahad Campbell. And look, talk about power, got it. Speed, got it. Knowledge, he's breaking down both positions right now, learning the inside and learning the edge as well. So no question in my mind, week one, you are absolutely looking at Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond as your week one starters.
Farzy, I must say you've I'm a little jealous of you right here. I gotta put it to you here. And listen, I don't want to go Christian Wilkins on you here.
Oh boy.
Okay. I don't want to go weird on you here, but I mean, I look at my tan.
Weird.
I look at my tan. I look like I got a tan in an icebox. I look at you, man. You look like you've been over at Wildwood hanging out, or Ocean City. I mean, you got a golden tan. I mean, I don't mean to be Christian Wilkins. I'm trying to keep this above, man card stuff here. But I'm a little bit I'm jealous of. I mean, you look great. I mean,
thank you, brother. Right before I came on the camera, I had my little spray bottle, a little spray can, and I just came on the camera. No, I mean, I gotta say, we 2 years ago we moved into a house.
So that's olive oil, right? You got the olive oil going on. You're laying out in your backyard on your towel, right? Okay.
Oh my God, you can't tell the difference between me and a nice bruschetta. You know what I mean? So we moved into a house 2 years ago that happened to have a pool, and kids love it. I love it. The wife loves it. So I do my own landscaping because I take pride. I take pride in my lawn. I take pride in my landscaping. Okay. So I dug a new garden. I had to ask, peppers and tomatoes, right? Oh, what are we doing here? How do we survive? How do we survive as a people? Okay. So got the new garden in, dug that. I put it in 2 new flower beds.
Nice.
This is over the course of the last, basically Eagles won the Super Bowl, weather broke. I got to work outside. That's the way that went. So yeah, I've been outside quite a bunch. Recently.
My grandpa used to have these peppers, and he used to hang them in our basement, and he used to put them over like a wire, like a clothing wire, what was it? Like your where you were doing your laundry, with those laundry wires, right?
Yeah.
So I'd see these peppers down on my grandpa, and these things were as hot as Hades.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, holy Maron to me. These things were just unbelievable. And we would grow them we had figs too. You got to have figs. I mean, we had figs in our garden. We had a peach tree in our backyard. My folks had it all. They had the tomatoes, they had the figs, we had peppers we grew. Oh Maron, it was great.
Yeah.
I can see you, man. I mean, that's good. So you got a green thumb, huh?
We'll find out in about a month or two. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, friend. But I think I know you're Sicilian, but those are probably Calabrese peppers you're hanging from your ceiling. Probably Calabrese. Just saying is all. Just saying.
Come on, but then again, Calabrese, you guys are Frenchmen, but you're close to dying. Hey, Farzy, it always is so great. Again, I feel a little bit, guilty of, going after this Eagles coaching staff.
Patulo? Why? Because the Italian?
There's too many vowels on this thing here, right? I mean,
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I told Clint Hurt the other day, you're a Paisan too. You know what they say about Italians. I mean, we're right there. So, I mean, I was like, man, maybe I need to tell Angelo because Angelo can't.
You gotta be true. Oh, it's what I've heard. Yeah, no, man, you got to be true. You got to be true. You got to keep it real, always, no matter what. If you're not breaking a fellow Italian's balls, you know what I mean. If you're not breaking a fellow Italian balls. Is it not love? It's not love.
Wait.
You got to do it. It's got to be within our own culture. and that's how we do it, man. That's how we do it. That's how we show love.
How about this, Farzy? Always tell people this. If somebody doesn't leave a family outing at a holiday in tears, it was never, ever a great holiday get-together. I tell people this all the time. I don't ever remember like Easter or Christmas Eve where my aunt didn't leave crying. And I always knew this. When my aunt left crying, I knew it was a great outing. My aunt's crying? Good.
I just had the conversation with a friend of mine recently who's Irish, and he just watched Sopranos for the first time, and he told me his favorite part of Sopranos. He said it was when everyone in the room goes, or someone goes, oh. They look. I was like, oh, you like that? He goes, yeah. He goes, do you? I like when people run things by you to see if they're real. And I go, oh, that's a real thing. Like we do that. Like that's a thing. And they go, what does it mean? I said, that means it's like a bar. It's like if you're at a bar and you hear a bar still like squeak out real quick, fight's about to happen. Oh, that is like, everyone attention over here. Everyone, something's about to go down. Someone's going to end up crying. Someone's going to end up fighting. Something's going to go down of high passion. That's where you got to watch. Those are the moments you got to wait for.
One last one here. So I introduced my wife. She was my girlfriend then at the time to my pop. And she goes like this, Grandpa, we're going to go to the store and we're going to get something. He goes, forget about it. We don't need anything. So my girlfriend had never heard forget about it. And she goes like this. So like, what's forget about it? I'm like, just like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, forget about it. And I go, yeah, forget about it. It's like, it's just, it's okay. They got bread. And she goes, why do they call it American bread? Well, because it's white. It's Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread was American bread. I go, why'd you call it American bread? Well, it's white bread. I go, what do you think we are?
When Paul Giamatti asked Johnny Depp and Donnie Brasco, what's forget about? I was like, people don't know this? People don't understand? I thought it was pretty general.
Hey, I always do. Get the Italian bread. Don't get the white bread. I'm like, what you mean the Wonder Bread? Oh, my God. Farzetta, it's always awesome catching up with you. Don't forget to make sure you catch this guy's show each and every single morning right here on JAKIB because he starts our broadcasting off. You're killing it as always, man. And you're always fun. By the way, hey, 97.5 WIP. I have no idea what the hell you're waiting for with this guy. This guy right here needs to be on the air in Philadelphia with one of those places. Who'd you piss off over there?
As many people as possible.
You had to, because I don't know, bro. I listen and I'm not sure what it is, but bro, I mean,
life's good, brother. Life's good, man.
Oh, I bet it is, but man, I mean, I said Farzetta must have really pissed somebody off over there at those two places because he's too good to be. Oh, wait a minute. Again, wait a minute. You're sitting by the pool and you got tomatoes in your backyard. I mean, so things can't be that bad.
I ain't losing. I ain't losing, man.
Farzy, I will catch you tomorrow, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, my man. Take it easy. Good to see you.
You got it, man. I love talking to Marc Farzetta. You know what? I could actually do a show with that dude. And I hate everybody. I actually could, man. I think Farzetta's good people, man. I do. Make sure you guys please hit the like button. Xander's going to kick my ass here because I got to pay some bills. I'm not paying enough of them here, too, because look at this, man. Another 3 hours we just rock. It's crazy. I could talk forever. I'm not sure that's a bad thing, is it? I could just talk forever, man. Make sure you check out my great friends at Morgan & Morgan. And I tell you this all the time, guys. Somebody asked a question earlier. So wait a minute, Sales. Morgan & Morgan doesn't get paid unless they win? Yes. I told you the story yesterday about John's brother. John got into defending families across the country as the #1 injury law firm on the planet for a reason. Brother got paralyzed, and John said that this is going to be my calling. And it's been his calling, and it's the #1 injury law firm in all of America. He goes after people all the time that do a disservice to Americans across this country. It's family owned. It is absolutely family loved and how they go about their business. And make no mistake about it, with their thousands of attorneys from coast to coast, they will do the best job they possibly can to make sure you and your family is well defended. When they see the logo, Morgan & Morgan, you do not want that logo coming after you. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's FORthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got